Hello and a warm welcome. This is Majesty Christian TV Network. My name is Reverend Lawyer Anton, and it's a joy to be back with you again. Today, I want to give you a special treat. Those of you who want to deal with some legal issues, we have a very good friend who has been a part of radio programs for a while now, and he is here live in the studio to discuss some legal issues. Now, today we want to talk about medical care for irregular migrants. So if somebody is out there, you don't have the necessary documentation, and yet you need medical help, we want you to know that there's a way out, and that's what we are here to talk about today. My guest is no other person than Lawyer Anton Kleijweg. Lawyer Kleijweg has been, he's an immigration lawyer with many years of experience and a lot of good successes. And so I'd like to say welcome,
Thank you, Pastor
Lawyer
Larry.
Kleijweg. Yes.
Thank you very much.
So his practice is actually is in Voorburg near Den Haag. And so afterwards, if you need to contact him, just let us know. Or you may use the information on the screen to get in touch with him. Now, I want us to talk today about medical care for irregular migrants. First of all, I would like to know what is it that what gave you the motivation to deal with this aspect of law. I know it boils on medicine, but at the same time, there's some legal aspects of it which I think you're interested in. But what gave you the motivation to want to discuss this sort of topic?
One of the things is personal, but that remains personal.
Yeah.
Important is that everybody realize that we all are human, regular or irregular,
Yeah.
migrant or not, born Dutchman or not, and we all can be held accountable for the things we do. But when you are ill, nobody can do something about it. You're not to be blamed for it. When you're ill and you're really sick, you need help, no
Okay.
matter who you are.
Yeah.
And that is what I try to practice in law and what other doctors try to practice in medicine.
Okay, so you believe that people are human beings and they must be help if they need medical help.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so now looking at it from the legal perspective, does the law actually provide for people who are irregular migrants, in this case, to receive medical help?
Yes, Pastor Larry. Luckily, the law does.
Yeah.
First of all, international law, the European Treaty for Human Rights, provides that right because nobody is allowed to be treated inhumanely. And that means that if you are really sick, you are entitled for medical treatment. And under Dutch law, there are also provisions being made for that. Of course, a doctor and a hospital providing medical treatment cannot do that for free. But if you're an irregular and you cannot afford to pay the bill, which could be immense, then there is also an option in the Zorgverzekeringswet
Yeah.
that will provide payment to your doctor, no matter whether you are able to pay or not. So a doctor will be enabled to provide you the necessary care. I repeat, the necessary care, because of course this does not include cosmetic operations, things like this. It is only for serious medical issues.
Okay, we'll get into what we mean by serious and not serious. But first of all, if you're watching this program, we want you to know that this is a special presentation on medical grounds for those who are called irregular immigrants, migrants for the matter. I would like the Lawyer Kleijweg to define, just to avoid any misunderstanding. Can you explain what is meant by irregular migrant?
An irregular migrant is somebody who is in this country for whatever reason without residence permit or without any residential status.
Okay, that's an irregular migrant. Okay. Okay. So now, you said there's provision in the law
Yes.
to help them get medical treatment. I need us to be clear about this because sometimes a lot of information circulates and people don't know the truth, from the lie. Now, can you explain which specific types of illnesses that regular migrants can be treated for free and not for free?
Basically, the treatment for free, or nearly for free, but effectively for free, is for all serious medical problems, like having cancer or psychological problems, something that might be able to cause you death or serious injury or medical situations. For just having toothache or other
Headache.
small things, indeed headache, or for some simple medications for little problems we all can have once in a while.
Yeah.
There is no assistance possible. That is something you should work out yourself, and that is acceptable. But for the real things you don't want to have, and the real things that happen to you, there is a possibility of medical treatment. And basically, doctors that I know will provide you with the treatment also.
So what you are saying is that it's only in cases of, let's say, life or death situations, emergencies of some kind, serious health conditions, that irregular migrants are entitled to medical assistance without there being questions about
Yes.
whether they have insurance or not.
Well, it doesn't have to be an urgent life or death situation, but let me give you an example. There is a woman, and she is checking herself, and she finds a little lump in one of her breasts.
Yeah,
That is not going to kill you immediately.
yeah,
It doesn't hurt you,
yeah.
but everybody knows that it should be an alarm for anyone if there is a lump somewhere
Yeah.
where it should not be. So that lady, irregular or not, should go to the doctor immediately. Don't wait for a week or something like that, but go immediately. The doctor will check it out.
Okay, hold it right there. So you are saying, if supposing a lady discovers
Yes.
a lump in her breast, no matter how little, and this lady has an irregular migrant status,
Yes.
you are saying that lady has the possibility to check herself into, let's say, the practice of a GP for treatment, and maybe eventually to the hospital for treatment.
Yes, Pastor, certainly, because the
Please make that clear and in fact so that,
Let the voice come up. It's very low.
yeah. You can,
Okay, I will
yeah.
speak a little bit louder. My
Yeah.
apologies.
Yes, okay.
It is indeed very important that that lady visits the hospital, the doctor, general practitioner, right away. General practitioner will check it out, and if it is something that is worrying, then the general practitioner, no doubt, will transfer her to a hospital for further investigation and, if necessary, medical treatment, operation, and
Whatever.
everything that is required for her treatment. Irregular or regular, no problem. The same goes, of course, not only for ladies with tumor in the breast, but with all kind of serious illnesses for men, women, and children. Everybody who is suffering from a serious or possibly serious situation
Yeah.
can be helped by the doctor.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this program, this is especially for you. We are talking about medical care for so-called irregular migrants. You know, every now and then we have this special session with Lawyer Kleijweg to provide information for you to know that you do not need to suffer and get destroyed or lose your life or lose your health unnecessarily. Whatever your case or situation, whether you have, especially if you do not have a regular immigration status, we want you to know that you still have access to some form of medical treatment. And that's what this discussion is all about. And so Lawyer Kleijweg says that if you have a condition, now even if it's not immediately terminal or serious, but it can lead to serious health problems,
Yes.
then you are entitled to see a doctor immediately and get them to transfer you or get you further treatment. And this will be done because the law provides for you, even though you may not have the regular migration status.
Correct, doctor.
Okay. Yeah.
Pastor, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm
Yeah.
off.
So this is what we're talking about. If you're a woman or a man, you have noticed something inside your body, it makes you comfortable. You feel you are sick and it's getting out of hand. You're losing control of your health. Please don't let it get out of hand. According to Lawyer Kleijweg, the law provides for you to be treated, and so make every move and take every necessary precaution. Check yourself into the house out and let them help you as soon as possible. Now, there's always a conception and also sometimes the rumor that there are some GP practices who would not treat people without medical insurance. Can you please comment on that?
Well, Pastor Larry, it's quite hard to comment on that because the general practitioners I know, they're nice people and they will provide medical treatment. But in every profession you have somebody who is not cooperative, not willing to help. Well, then get yourself another general practitioner.
Okay. But are they by law obliged to help people in this category?
Yes, they are obliged by law because they have the obligation to provide medical treatment to those who are seriously needed. Of course, the general practitioner can be of the opinion that you don't have a serious problem. Okay, then it is different.
Yeah.
But if there is a serious problem, they are supposed to help you.
Supposed to help.
And if they don't, well, maybe ask another general practitioner.
Okay. Now, I was going to ask this question later on, but since we're talking about this, so what if a general practitioner refuses to take care of a patient, and that leads to some more serious problems? Does that patient who has an irregular status, can that patient take action against the doctor, for example?
Certainly, because of course we must be realistic.
Yeah.
Not everything can be foreseen by the general practitioner, by the doctor.
Yeah.
Not everything will lead to a serious problem. But if it is a thing that you would describe as malpractice from the doctor, then it is malpractice whether the person is an irregular immigrant or not. So if the doctor is not properly conducting his profession, then you can file a complaint against the doctor with the organization for doctors, and they will look at it whether the doctor did his job properly or not. And if it is leading to real damage, you might even be able to claim compensation for the damage being done. But again, be realistic. Not everything that looks bad is bad, because if the doctor says, no, I'm not going to give you treatment because you only have the flu, that is acceptable. If then later on turns out that you had something else than the flu, 1 year later, that is not being the fault of the doctor. But if somebody is really suffering medical problems and he is not being treated by the doctor while it obviously was necessary, then the doctor will be held accountable.
Wow, wow. So what we are trying to do here, ladies and gentlemen, is to empower people who are among us who for now do not have a regular immigration status. We want you to know that you are qualified to receive medical treatment. Maybe you have been hearing about this all around, and you don't have the courage or the boldness to have yourself checked, especially when you suspect that you have a serious and important health issue. Now, the lawyer is here to reinforce this information and this fact for you to know that you are entitled to be looked at, to be checked, and for necessary treatment if that is so required.
Certainly.
Yeah. Now, so why do you think that people ought to know about this information we're bringing out? Is there, let's say, a reason or cause for people to really be aware of this thing that we're talking about?
Yes, because in my experience, people, especially if the pain is not killing them, are likely to think, well, I don't have a health insurance, I'm an irregular, I'm not going to go to the doctor, I will take some pills that somebody has for me, I will try something, it will pass, But some diseases will pass. without proper treatment. But also some diseases, especially like cancers and other problems like that,
Yeah.
they will grow over time and they will eventually kill you. While if you had properly treated them from the start,
Yeah.
it will be curable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And therefore, it is so important that you seek medical help and care. And I also truly believe that doctors, 99% of them, are willing and able to give that care. You also have organizations like Dokters van de Wereld who provide you with help. And if one doctor is not knowing the medical system, well, then there is certainly another doctor or a lawyer who can pass you on to and give you the name of a doctor who is knowing and willing that. I know of very good doctors here in the area, Amsterdam, but also in my area, Voorburg, Den Haag. They will certainly treat you, no problem. We do this many times. I also support some hospices, which is a place where people spend their last days of their lives in full treatment. They will admit people, whether they're rich or poor, whether they're regular or irregular migrants, no problem. Same goes for the hospitals, I know.
Wow, that's quite nice. At least to have some respect and for people's dignity and to give them some kind of relief, especially in their last days. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important piece of information we're bringing to you for those among us who, unfortunately for now, do not have health insurance, but you need treatment. And the whole idea is that you are entitled to medical help, especially if it's something that can have serious consequences towards the end or in the end, and so you do not have to leave it and say it's going to go away. You should get treated, get looked at, and hopefully get treated. And this is what we are about discussing right now. Now, just to touch on a few things again, you mentioned about some of the serious illnesses that people shouldn't take lightly, like anything which maybe borders on cancer, some kind of diseases which can become terminal.
Yes, or cause in the end invalidity. So make
cause
you
invalidity.
immobile. Yes. And also we have, of course, pregnancies. That is
pregnancies. Okay, tell us about pregnancies. Well, so is it any pregnant woman at all who doesn't have a regular status can go for treatment?
Yes, because under the Dutch law, we have also obligations toward children, and that is also regarding pregnant women. Those have rights also even for a temporary stay in the Netherlands, only very temporary.
How temporary is temporary? How many months? 6 months?
Totally 3 months, because
3
it's
months,
from 3 or 6 weeks before the date of the expected birth until 6 weeks after the expected birth. The mothers will be given a temporary permission to stay.
Oh, so this is for people who are heavily pregnant.
Yes.
Almost getting to the delivery time.
Yes, and then those people get, if necessary, an opvang in housing in an asylum seeker center.
Wow.
But more important, they get the health insurance so they can make full use of the services of a midwife, medical care, if necessary, hospital.
Wow.
Everything will be taken care of. Not to encourage a regular stay in the Netherlands, but to make sure that the baby will be
delivered
treated
safely,
treated properly, and will be delivered safely and start his life healthily.
That's amazing. It is nice. It sounds good. Well, so this is good news for you if you are listening to us and or you know someone who is in a condition. And let's say the person just came to the Netherlands not long ago and got pregnant, and now the person is confused and doesn't know what to do. You don't have to kill the baby. You don't have to abort the baby. You can have the baby. The law can help you at least have a safe delivery, take care of you up to some extent. So please be aware and take advantage of this provision. And I think that's quite human, very, very humane, I would say. And I applaud the law for that.
Thanks. But of course, there is always the rumor
Yeah.
amongst people
Mm-hmm.
that if you have a child, in the end you're allowed to stay in the Netherlands.
Okay, please
That
do clear up that for us.
That is really not true, because the Dutch state cannot be held accountable for the fact that people create a child together, and that is not a reason to grant them a residence permit. So really, don't make that mistake ever.
Yeah.
But if it happens that you're pregnant and the child needs to be taken care of,
Yeah.
there is care.
That will be done. Uh-huh. Okay, so what you're saying is that people should not go and get pregnant and hoping that that will give them a residential status. In other words, if somebody who has an irregular status becomes pregnant and has a baby, you may get about 3 months or so of help to see you through the delivery. After that, you and the baby and the mother become
You're on
irregular. That's what you're saying.
Completely, and you're on your own again.
Wow.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Well, here, clear and loud and clear. But at least for the help to be able to deliver safely, I
Yes.
think that's a very important one,
Yes.
and I think it's commendable. However, take appropriate advantage of this opportunity, and at least don't allow yourself to suffer and to go through serious medical problems, especially when it comes to having a child or taking care of yourself when you're very sick. I mean, you don't take chances. You don't lose your life unnecessarily. And so we're strongly recommending that you make use of the facilities available to take care of yourself when you are critically ill.
Certainly.
All right. Okay. Now, now I did ask. Okay, I did ask about somebody taking action against a doctor who refuses to offer treatment. But of course, that has to be proven that the doctor has been negligent or not careful enough to help. But basically, I think we want to empower our listeners to be aware of the fact that you have an irregular status doesn't make you less of a human being. It doesn't make you an outcast. It's just a temporary status which can change along the line if you find the ways and the means to do that. But if you are in this condition and you are not well, please do not allow the sickness to kill you. You have the opportunity to get treated.
True. And really, again, most doctors I know, most hospitals are quite willing and capable to give that treatment.
Okay.
And those who are reluctant are mostly reluctant because they don't know about the existing possibilities.
Oh.
So they're not unwilling, they are sometimes a little bit unknowing.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, you become a doctor because you want to help people,
Yeah.
and not because you're a nasty person.
Yeah.
So most doctors I know, they're nice.
I like that. Now, let's talk about what is called in Dutch uitstel van vertrek. There's an exception which is given to people so they don't leave the country.
Yes.
Can you please explain that?
Well, irregular people or irregular immigrants are supposed any time of the day to leave the country, to leave the Netherlands to a country where they are regular, so basically their home country. Some irregular migrants do not fulfill that obligation, and they're staying.
You mean
here.
they don't fulfill
They
the
don't-
obligation to
They
leave?
don't go away. That's
Okay.
a little bit of a habit of irregular migrants. They
Yeah.
don't go away.
Yeah.
But they're here and they're not supposed to be here, so they could be arrested and being expelled.
Yeah.
However, uitstel van vertrek means that you will be granted a temporary waiver of that obligation to leave the country. So then you will not be arrested, you will not be expelled, and even you might be provided with the health insurance, some basic housing, and some tiny financial support. Not a desirable situation, but at least then you have some peace and quiet
Yeah.
in your life. You have a moment of reflection. You can get proper medical treatment. You don't have to be on the run from place to place. You don't have to fear the police. So you have a chance of recovering yourself.
Wow. Okay. So then the hostel, what does it do actually? What does that entail? You have a moment whereby nobody comes after you.
Yes.
You don't have to fear the police or the
No.
immigration
The immigration.
officers. And then what happens after that?
The immigration authorities basically grant you temporary permission to stay here. They say, look, we're not going to expel you until this or that moment. In the case of a pregnant woman, that's maximum 3 months. In other cases, if the treatment is not available in the other country of origin and it's going to take longer, it will take longer. And if people are so sick that they're going to die anyway, it is until the end of their life.
Nice. Mm.
So they will not be expelled during the uitstel van vertrek.
Mhm.
After the uitstel van vertrek, then everything is back to normal.
Mm.
The immigrant should leave the country, the irregular, and if he doesn't, the police can arrest him and expel him.
Mm.
So it is basically, it's really only a temporary measure to enable people to receive their medical treatment
they
in
need
a
it.
proper way.
Okay. So with the hostel or the exemption or whatever for deportation, does it have a limited time, or it can depend on the person's situation? Because in the case of a pregnant woman, it's up to 3 months. You said.
Yes.
Okay. So is 3 months the limit, or it can be longer depending upon the person's situation?
It depends on the person's situation. It has not a specific limit,
Okay.
but normally it is limited to 1 year maximum.
Okay. I see.
And after that, you are going to consider the possibilities of applying for a residential
Settlement.
status
Mhm.
for receiving medical treatment.
Okay.
But that is not a necessity.
Mhm.
It can be prolonged, uitstel van vertrek, from time to time,
Time. Okay.
with, for more than 1 year.
Okay, it can be done.
Yes.
Wow. Now, if somebody has, let's say, a kidney problem and the person
Yes.
is dependent on dialysis, is there a kind of condition that would require, first of all, free medical treatment?
Mhm.
And the person is, let's say, regular and has kidney problems and therefore has need of dialysis. Does that person qualify for kind of medical treatment we're talking about?
Yes.
And also, does that person qualify for our self-fund vertrek?
That depends on it, because, and that's typical lawyer's answer,
Mm-hmm.
because the dialysis is a necessary medical treatment, so that treatment will be given anyway.
Mhm.
But then is the question, should this person be allowed to stay in the Netherlands temporarily
Mhm.
or not? Well, it is a necessary treatment, and it must be continued after this person is being possibly expelled. So then the immigration authorities are going to look
Mm.
whether the medical treatment required, the dialysis,
Yeah.
is possible in the country of
Country.
origin. And some country of origin, it is very well possible.
Yeah.
Other countries, like imagine Somalia or
Mhm.
at least other places on this world where there's not much of medical treatment available,
Mhm.
there is not medical treatment available.
Yeah.
And if that is not available, those people will get uitstel van vertrek
Mm.
because they cannot be transferred
Mhm.
to their country of origin, because if that would happen, it
They
would
would
be
die.
a certain death for
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
and that is inhumane treatment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Interesting, interesting. Mm.
So.
Interesting. So, depending upon your situation, we want you to know that you should seriously consider making use of the health insurance, the temporary health insurance possibility or treatment that are available. You don't have to suffer in silence, and we strongly recommend. If you have any questions, please get in touch with us or with Lawyer Kleijweg. If you get in touch with us, we'll put you through to Lawyer Kleijweg, and then you can see what possibilities there might be for you. Okay, we are almost at the end of our discussion. So, is there, let's say, something you feel on your heart that you want to share, a final message for our listeners, our viewers right
Okay.
now?
Well, Pastor Lai, I would like to say that the people should not be reluctant to seek medical care and medical treatment if it is serious. Everybody knows for himself whether it is serious or not.
Yes.
And there are many reasons why you should go, good reasons, and only a few reasons that are not good reasons why you shouldn't go. Some people say, look, I must identify myself. the doctor might call the police. No, doctors don't call the police.
Okay, that's a good point.
Doctor only works when I pay money up front. Well, that's not true. If you have a serious medical problem, the doctor won't ask
for money.
True. And very important is that when you're going to your doctor, to any doctor, that you're fully honest.
Yeah.
Honest about your situation. Don't tell the doctor, I will pay you next week, or use somebody else's health insurance. No. Be honest. Tell the doctor, look, I am this or that person, I'm from this country. Sorry, I don't have a residence permit, but I have a medical problem.
Yeah.
Please help me.
Okay.
Be honest. And also tell the doctor directly and fully about your medical problem. Don't beat around the bush, because the doctor must have all information available on your medical problem, even if you're a bit ashamed about it, or like we say, it hurts there where the sun doesn't shine.
Yeah.
Be honest about everything.
Yes.
Tell the doctor everything, because the doctor is also not only a specialist in your problem, but he's also obliged to keep fully confidential about it. He cannot talk about it with other people. So when you go to either your pastor, a lawyer, or a doctor, you must be able to speak
the truth
freely and the truth. Otherwise, they cannot help you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you tell the truth, it will be okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have you said all?
All, Pastor.
Okay.
Really all.
Uh-huh. So you've heard it, ladies and gentlemen. If you need further information, or you have specific questions, you would have actually have called us if you had. But later on, if you watch this video and you have any specific questions, please feel free to contact us, or just contact Lawyer Kleijweg directly. He's from the Schuurman Kleijweg and de Vries Law Chamber in Voorburg in The Hague. Just feel free to Google their name and just give him a call. Tell him I saw your program on Majesty TV and I really want to know more, or I want to know what to do next. And he'll be more than glad to help. Thank you. Yeah.
Or maybe it is best for the viewers that they give me an email, because if I'm out of office or whatever, a phone call is always coming on a moment which cannot be predicted, which might not be most convenient.
Yeah.
An email is always welcome.
Okay, give us the email address then.
That is Kleijweg at skv streepje advocatenkantoor.nl.
Okay.
And how you spell that in the English language is not so clear to me.
Yeah.
May I give you my card?
Yes, sure.
It's all there.
It's all there. Well, if in case you have any difficulty with getting the full spelling, just Google and I'm sure you'll get it. Or just contact us at Majesty TV and everything will be fine. Okay. Once again, I want to thank Lawyer Kleijweg for being on the show, and we look forward to having you again some other time.
Pastor Larry, thanks for the
God
invitation.
bless you, sir.
Thank you,
Bless
sir.
you. All right. You stay. Keep watching Majesty. We'll be coming your way with some interesting programs in the coming moments. So thank you so very much for your company, and God bless. Bye-bye.